Hey everyone, welcome to Club Cal Online. My name's Grace and I'm here with Jody, and we are going to take you through a basic push-pull workout on the rings. So all you need today for today's workout is a pair of rings, and then we're also going to use a PVC pipe just for some warm-up stuff. If you have a PVC pipe or a broom handle, either of those work great. So we're actually going to start with the PVC pipe to warm up. You can go ahead and grab that. And we're just going to start with a little bit of rotator cuff warm up. So you want to grip that dowel so that when you're in this position, your elbows are at about 90 degrees, and we're just going to rotate down and up. Rotate down, rotate up. Just starting to warm up the shoulders here. We do want to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. And again, this is going to be just a very basic push-pull workout on the rings. We're going to be focusing primarily on horizontal pulling. So we've got some push-ups on the rings, some rows on the rings. We'll work a little stabilization as well. Keep moving through this, guys. We've got about 10 more seconds here. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears and keep it through a pain-free range of motion. If there's a position that doesn't feel so great on the shoulders, or it's really crunchy or grindy in a way that doesn't feel good, just a smaller range of motion is totally fine. Last 3, 2, and 1. You can shake out those arms a little bit. For this next one, we're going to keep that nice wide grip. So yeah, hold on to that dowel still. We're going to bring it up into that same position that we started. We're going to rotate just like we did before, and then this time press above head. And then you'll come back down, rotate down, and then down. All right, just about 30 seconds here. Very similar to what we just did. We're still working that rotation, but now we're lifting and lowering with that dowel a little bit as well. We're going to get those shoulders really nice and warm before we do anything on the rings. Excellent. Yep, you got it. A little bit of a shrug at the top with those shoulders, pushing them up to the ears. Beautiful. Let's take one more full rep. Excellent. And then the last one that we're going to do with that dowel is same wide grip. You're going to start out front, keeping those elbows high but shoulders away from ears. You're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you and then press out front. So squeeze, press out front. So by now we're probably feeling a nice steady burn through the shoulders. Yep. Jody's like, check, got it. Especially when we're doing ring work, we really want to make sure we get a good warm up in those shoulders first before we get on the rings. This is going to mimic one of the movements that we're doing today. We're going to be doing a high row. High meaning those elbows are going to be out to the side here rather than down by the rib cage. So we will be seeing this exact movement later on with the rings. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You guys can set that dowel off to the side. We're going to warm up the wrists a little bit by coming down onto the floor on hands and knees. We're going to start with some wrist push-ups, keeping the elbows straight. So starting in a fist, you're just going to open up the hands, palm face the ceiling, come back up. If you need to, you can go one at a time. And we're going to go for about 30 seconds and begin. Good. This one can be intense on those wrists. So feel free to bring your knees as close to your hands if you need to. Those of you guys who have been doing this for a while and are more advanced will have your knees back. Super advanced, you might even be doing this in a full plank. But just make sure those wrists stay right underneath your shoulders. We want that nice stack of shoulders on top of wrists. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We will come back to that movement. We're going to take some scap shrugs. I'll show this on hands and knees and in a plank, and you can choose which variation you'd like. So if you're going hands and knees, shoulders are stacked on top of the wrist. You're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, allow your chest to drop down through the floor. Then you're going to round the shoulder blades, pulling the sternum in. Okay, you can stay right here on the knees. If you want a little bit more tension on the shoulders, you can come into a plank and do that movement here. We're going to do it for 30 seconds. And begin. And remember, guys, we're still just warming up here, so don't be afraid to stay on your knees if you need to. You can also kind of go somewhere in between hands and knees and plank by staying on your knees but walking them back a little bit. whatever those shoulders need. Beautiful. And we're just trying to get as much range of motion as we can, drawing the shoulder blades together and then pushing them apart. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next up, we're gonna do that same movement, but underneath the rings. So you're gonna set this up in kind of your row position. You can be all the way underneath the rings. This will make it more challenging, or to make it a little bit easier, you can back it up. You're gonna turn your palms in. The movement is the same, retracting, protracting, retracting, protracting. Noticing my elbows are straight. It's just coming from the shoulders, okay? Same thing we just did on hands and knees, but now there's a little more tension on the back of the shoulders. We have 30 seconds and begin. And the knees can be straight or they can be bent here like Jody has her knees, especially if you're on a slidey surface and your feet are sliding, go ahead and bend those knees. Again, we're still just warming up, so we're not maxing out here, we're just getting warm. Ten more seconds here. Three, 2, and 1. Let's start back at the beginning, starting with those wrist push-ups. Same thing, 30 seconds, either both hands or one at a time. All right, and begin. A little bit, yeah. Yeah, so Jody just asked if we want tension on the wrist. We do want a little bit so that we are working our muscles and we come back up, but it's probably not going to be a lot. Yeah, because this is a lot of weight on this very small joint. She has her elbows straight. That's a great thing to aim for, but if you're not there yet, if you're still a little tight, those elbows might be bent as you go through this movement, and that's okay. And go ahead and rest. Maybe shake out those hands a little bit if you need to. And then let's go into those scap shrugs. So your choice, either on hands and knees or up into a plank. 3, 2, and begin. Excellent. And we're just keeping this in the shoulders. It's not a full like cat-cow. We're not moving around the spine of the lower back. It's just the shoulder blades moving together, moving apart, not a whole lot of spinal movement here. Three, 2, and 1. Excellent. We're going to do our last round of the scap shrugs underneath the rings. 30 seconds. And remember, if you need to make it easier, you're just going to back up your feet as far as you need to. All right? And begin. Perfect. And just like we did when we were on hands and knees, we're not moving the spine. We're not bending the elbows. The only thing that's moving is those shoulder blades. And if you have really immobile shoulders and you're not getting a lot of range of motion, that's totally okay. If your range of motion is just like an inch or two, that's okay. It will come with practice. 3, 2, and rest. Awesome. All right. We're going to do a quick wrist stretch and then we're going to get into our first strength exercise. So fingers back, palms down. Options here are to just hold it. You can go side to side, forward, back. You can bend one elbow at a time and pull the heel of the hand up, whatever feels good here. All right, we are going to start off with some high rows. So like I said in the warm-up, high meaning the position of the elbows is up rather than down by your rib cage. So we're going to do 10 reps. The hardest variation is you're going to be all the way down, shoulders right underneath those hands. And then from here, shoulders stay down away from ears. You're going to pull the elbows out wide, okay? If you need to make it easier, just like we did before, back it up as much as you need to to be able to get that full range of motion. Also, knees could be bent here, totally fine. If you are super strong, a little bit more advanced, a way to make this harder is to elevate your feet. So maybe you put your feet up on a chair or a bench or something to give you a little bit of a decline. All right, we're gonna do 10 reps. And we're gonna do some core in between our sets here. All right, ready, here we go. 1, elbows are out wide, yes, good. 2, and you're squeezing your shoulder blades together at the top. 3, very nice, Jody. 4, always feel free to adjust your feet forward or back if you need to. 5, excellent. 6, 7, 8, awesome, we're almost there, guys. 9, and 10, beautiful. All right, that's round 1. We're gonna do some core work in between our sets to rest our shoulders and to work our core. So, first core exercise is gonna be a leg raise. You're gonna lie on your back side. If you need to, you can elevate the hips on your hands. Feet are gonna come up towards the ceiling. You're gonna lower down as low as you can without letting that back arch. So we wanna pull the belly in and then back up. So down and up. We're going for 30 seconds. Yeah, grab a mat if you need it, or a towel or a pillow. And this one's gonna target the lower abs. I also like this one with our strength work because it does give our arms a little bit of a rest, all right? And begin. Yeah, if you can take that negative super slow, even better. And as you guys can see, Jody's getting super low. She's bringing those feet all the way to the floor, which is awesome. If that's not happening for you, if that lower back starts to arch, just go as far as you're able to go. It can be a small range of motion, and that's totally fine. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Awesome. All right, round 2 of our high rows. We got 10 reps. So you guys have done it once already. You kind of know what it feels like. If it was too easy, let's get that body a little lower. If it was too challenging, maybe back it up a little bit. All right, here we go for 1. Very nice. 2, 3, good, keep shoulders away from ears. 4, full range of motion if you can. 5, awesome, Jody. 6, 7, yes. 8, good, almost there. 9, yep, she's taking a little adjustment with the feet, that's great. And 10, beautiful. All right, shake out those arms. We have our second set of leg raises, and we're going for 30. All right, 3, 2, and 1, let's do it. Good, and she's really slowing down that negative, which is great. Sometimes when it comes to core work, slower is better, right? Spending lots of time under tension. We're over halfway, guys. We got 10 seconds left here. And really keep that integrity of the lower back. If it's starting to arch, no big deal. Just take a smaller range of motion. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, guys, we'll go into our last round. No rush. We can take a little bit more rest here. If you guys saw Jody's last set, she adjusted her feet on the last 2 reps. Totally fine. Maybe you start low, and then as you lose that range of motion, you walk the feet back. It's all good. All right, we got 10. Ready, here we go. 1, 2, awesome. 3, good, 4, 5, big squeeze at the top, good. 6, make those adjustments if you need to. 7, 8, good, we're almost there. Last 2, here's 9, and big pull for 10. Awesome job. Yeah, those last few reps, they get tough.
Your arms want to curl in.
They do, yeah, because this is easier than being up here, for sure, for sure. Okay, last set of leg raises, and begin. We got 30 seconds here, then we're gonna move on to some push-ups on the rings. Awesome, guys, we are halfway. Keep that lower back pushing into the floor. As Jody's doing her core work, I'm gonna lower the rings down. I'll give you guys an opportunity to do the same before we get into our push-ups. Almost there, last 3, 2, and 1. All right. So we are gonna move on to our next strength set. This is gonna be more push-oriented. And we're gonna try out some push-ups on those rings. So take a second here to lower your rings down. I've got ours about, I wanna say like 1.5 feet above the floor. You can go a little bit lower and just kind of see what works for you here. So this is gonna be challenging because there's an extra element of stability. So option 1, to be on your toes. Those elbows are gonna come out at about 45 degrees. So not super wide, but not by your ribs, and then back up. We wanna keep the rib cage tucked in. Option here is to be on the knees, okay? Just to make it a little bit easier, okay? So we're gonna try for 10 reps. Do the best you can. Again, this is a challenging exercise because of that stability. All right, let's try it out. Ready, and 1. Nice, 2. Yeah, we might need to lower them down for the next set. 3. Yeah, and you guys will have to play with the height of your rings a little bit. 4, depending on which variation you're doing. 5, if you're on the knees, a little bit lower of a ring position might work better. 6, nice. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. A little bit lower if you're on the knees. Yeah, I think so. Cool. All right. While she's adjusting the rings, I'm going to show you guys the core exercise that we're going to do in between. We're going to do a little bit of oblique work. So you're going to lie on your side for this one. We're going to keep the upper body on the ground so you can relax your arm. You can even relax your head here. I like to use this opposite hand for balance, but if you want to go without it, that's fine as well. You're going to keep those legs squeezing together, and you're just going to lift them up and back down. So what we're aiming for is feeling this in the obliques. You're also going to feel it in the inner thighs a little bit as well. Okay, we're going to do 30 seconds per side, so you get a little bit longer of a rest time on those shoulders. I'll adjust these. Bring this one up just a little bit. Yeah, just lifting your feet. All right, we got 30 seconds on the first side, and begin. Yep, just like that, and you can relax your arms a little bit. Again, we are trying to rest our arms so that we're fresh for our next set of push-ups. Just focusing on the obliques, and again, you probably will feel it in your inner thighs. As you guys might notice, it's not that big of a lift, right? It's like 3 or 4 inches. That's fine. You're probably not going to get super high with those feet, but you will feel it in the obliques. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Good, good. Let's roll it over. Get that other side. And begin. Awesome. And we want to make sure that as we're doing this, that we're not letting the hips roll backwards. We do want the top hip stacked directly on top of the bottom hip. We're halfway. Almost there, guys. We got 10 seconds. Let's get a few more good lifts here. Really fight to squeeze those legs together. For 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. All right, we got our second round of push-ups, 10 reps. Adjust as needed, so a little bit lower if you're going on the knees. Another option that I didn't mention earlier, but if you do want more challenge, you can elevate those feet, make it into a decline push-up. That's tough stuff. All right, here we go for 1. Nice. 2, 3, Beautiful. 4, keep those shoulders down away from the ears. 5, see if you can get those elbows straight at the top. Nice. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. How's that feel? It's hard. Yeah, push-ups on the rings are just a whole different animal. Yeah, it's a lot. It's the stability, right, that makes it extra challenging. Okay, we're going to go into our second round of those lateral leg lifts. 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and begin. And remember, it doesn't have to be that big of a lift. It can be a teeny tiny movement, and that's okay. Awesome, guys. We're halfway. Stay with it. Try to stay somewhat relaxed in your upper body. We do want to rest those arms. 10 seconds here. Awesome. Last 3, 2, and 1. Let's roll it over. Let's get that other side. And begin. Awesome. Good. Way to pause at the top. Jody's got a little bit of a pause at that end range of motion. That's awesome. If you guys at home are able to find that, that's great. 10 more seconds. Almost there. A couple more good reps here for 3, 2, and 1. All right, we are into our third and final set of those push-ups. You've done it a couple times already. You know what it feels like. Make adjustments as needed. All right, here we go. And 1. Good. 2. And if you're finding that even the push-ups on the knees, 3 are challenging, maybe you don't go all the way down. 4, maybe you go halfway, whatever range of motion you can. Yeah. 5, do your best, whatever that looks like. 6, 7, awesome. 8, we're almost there. 9, and 10. Beautiful. All right, let's go into that last round of leg lifts. 30 seconds per side. And then we're going to finish with a little bit of top support work. All right, here we go. 3, 2, and begin. That's awesome. Good, guys, really fight to keep those legs together on this last set. I know it's challenging, but it's only 30 seconds. And again, even if those legs are barely lifting, that's okay, as long as you're feeling it in the obliques, you're working that side core. Last 5, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, awesome job, guys. We're almost there. Let's roll it over. And begin. 30 seconds here. Beautiful. And remember the hip position. We want that top hip directly on top of the bottom hip rather than rolling back or forward. We really want to be in a straight line. That's where you can use that top arm to help you balance. Over halfway. Three, 2, and rest. Awesome. All right, guys, all we're going to finish with is just a little bit of top support work on those rings. We're going to do it in our plank. While I demo this movement, feel free to stretch it out, grab some water, take a little bit of a rest here. So typically we work our top support all the way up here, right, where we're kind of in this full body position. We're going to work it in a plank, which makes it just a little bit easier, and it's kind of a similar shape to what we had in our push-up. So as you guys probably noticed, and we talked about this, the hardest part of that push-up is the stability. So this exercise is going to help us out with that. So you're going to set up in your plank. just like you're about to do your push-ups, and we're just gonna hold it for 30 seconds. So your goal is to try to keep those elbows straight. If you're more advanced, maybe you're turning the arms out a little bit, but otherwise we're just holding. This can be done on the knees as well, okay? If you're really struggling to keep those arms pulling in and you're finding them going out, bring those knees even closer, okay? And let's shorten this a little bit. Let's make it 20 seconds instead of 30 because this is a tough exercise and we already did some push-ups. So we'll do 20 seconds. We'll do some wrist stretches in between, 3 rounds, and then we will be done here. All right, 3, 2, 1, and hold. If you can, yeah, if you're able to turn the rings out and it feels okay on those elbows, go ahead and go for it. But if you have never done this before, I would recommend just trying to hold it, try to keep those elbows straight. Turning the elbows out is a little bit more advanced and it's a lot on those elbows. Good, 3, 2, and 1. And we're not gonna do any core in between this one. We're just gonna rest. If you'd like, take a wrist stretch, either the same one we did earlier or you can go forward. I've done a lot of gripping here. We'll just give those wrists and hands a little bit of love. Take about 10 more seconds here, then we'll go into our next set of those holds. All right, let's start to set it up. Round 2, we're doing 3 rounds of this, by the way, and then we will stretch and cool down, all right? Here we go, 3, 2, and hold it. Just 20 seconds here. Good, and part of this movement is pulling those hands towards one another a little bit, right? To keep them from flaring out. A little bit of external rotation if you can. Awesome, guys. We got 5 seconds here. 4, 3, 2, and rest. Good. We'll take another 30-second break or so. Stretch those wrists. You can stay with palms down. You can also go palms out. Let's take this time to do whatever feels good on those hands. Should feel good after all the gripping we did. All right, let's start to set up for our last set of that top support in plank. We got 20 seconds and then we're gonna slow it down and stretch it out, all right? 3, 2, 1, and hold. Very nice. We're obviously working our arms and our upper body, but if you're in a full plank, you'll be feeling your core as well. That's definitely a part of it. We're halfway. If you're starting to fatigue and it's getting really shaky and unstable, don't be afraid to come down to the knees. 3, 2, and rest. Very nice, you guys. All right, we're gonna stretch it out with a letter T stretch. So come on down to your belly, bring one arm out to the side, palm face down. You guys can watch Jody if you're not familiar with this one. And then you're just gonna roll your body to one side as far as you need to until you feel a stretch in the front of the shoulder or maybe the bicep or the elbow. And let's take it over to the other side. Bring that arm out to a letter T. So we have about a 90-degree angle through the armpit. And then just roll your body as far as you need to feel that stretch. And you can really just relax the shoulders here, relax your body. We're not doing anything else that's challenging, so we can slow down. Relax, take those deep breaths. And then go ahead and come back to the center. We'll take a capsule stretch. So one arm comes underneath the body this time, palm faces up. And then that other arm can just reach out. You're going to push that opposite armpit towards the floor. And this is going to feel really nice on probably the back of the shoulder. You might feel it in the front of the shoulder. Stretch out some of the muscles that we used on our rows. And then go ahead and switch sides. Last one here, palm face up. Other arm reaches upward. And go ahead and come on out of it. Thank you guys so much for joining us today for this ring workout. We hope that you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next time.